Hello, I'm Anita White. I'm a life coach with White Lighter Coaching Quest. I'm also with the St. Croix River Valley Holistic Practitioners that serves the St. Croix Valley. Welcome to our show, For Your Health. Here I am today with Joni Polehna, who has a BA in Therapeutic Recreation and spent over 30 years assisting persons with major mental illness reduce their stress so they could live in the community as productive citizens. She was looking for ways to help her dad deal with Alzheimer's when she found Brain Gym, one of the holistic techniques she continues to use with her clients today. Joni is an energy worker whose focus is mostly on assisting individuals to repattern their brains. Joni feels that we release old emotional patterns of our upsetting beliefs, thoughts, and experiences that block our energy. We're able to install or open up to pre-existing patterns that serve us better and make us happier. Joni has a private practice in Stillwater where she works with individuals, families, small groups, and large groups to shift past patterns that no longer serve them in their life today. She also speaks to groups and teaches classes on the effects of stress on our system and how to recognize stress and what to do about it on our own to increase your own sense of well-being and overall health. When we are comfortable and relaxed in our life, our whole system works with ease and we actually have a better health result. Welcome, Joni.
Thanks, Anita. I'm glad to be here.
So today, Joni, we're going to talk about one of the dozen techniques that you use in your practice. It's called EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique. Tell us about that.
All right. Well, emotional freedom technique tapping is really what it's all about, is tapping on the ends of energy meridians in the system. This is kind of a part of, well, not kind of, it is a part of Eastern medicine. It is not something that has been shared very much in the United States because as a culture, we have really turned our well-being over to medical professionals. Now, that's not to say that we don't try to eat well and exercise and do those kinds of things, but when we have some kind of an issue come up, rather than turning to our own internal ability to heal ourselves, we often look outside. We often go to a doctor and we say, oh, I've got this or I've got that, and give me a pill or tell me what to do. And I am an advocate of helping all of us in this country get back to knowing how can we do some of these things all on our own. We just stopped handing down the information. But this is one technique that comes from China. It's Eastern medicine. And it really is a way that people can tap into the emotional upsets that we have not cleared. Because there are statistics that show, and they're by some medical people, that about 85% of physical illnesses and physical problems are because of unresolved emotional stuff. So if you have a trauma, if you have an upset, if you have a belief that causes upsets to happen in your body, we store them somewhere. And it's very interesting if you watch animals, which we're one of, but if you watch other lower animals when they go through a trauma. So I have seen video of animals being shot, maybe with a tranquilizer dart because they're going to do research with them or whatever. Once they have that trauma, the whole body shakes, shakes, shakes. And they will shake for an undetermined amount of time until that trauma lets go out of the system. But you see, we don't do that. We don't shake, we don't do anything. We just sort of suck it up and try to hope that nobody noticed that we got upset or that we had a trauma or that we didn't handle it well, because you know it's all about handling things in our culture. So one of the techniques then that I use with people, and I like to teach people how to use this, is EFT tapping. We have 14 major energy meridians in the body. And when you go to an acupuncturist, they will put needles all the way along that meridian, energy meridian, and hopefully the stimulation of those needles will open up blocked energy. Well, the blocked energy is those traumas and upsets that we've stored someplace. Could be arms, legs, gut, could be head, could be anywhere. And so those needles will go in along the energy meridians to unblock certain energies that are keeping us from being able to function well. Well, Gary Craig is the founder of EFT. And he had studied with Roger Callahan, I think in the early 80s, who realized that if we get in touch with our emotional upsets, and then we tap on those energy meridians, the end of them, rather than even putting needles in, we can shift the energy and we can release that emotional upset that we've got stored there. And if you're wondering, or if anybody's wondering if you have an emotional upset stored somewhere, think back to a trauma that you've had. And when you think back to that trauma, does it cause you to go, or have an emotion, or flush you with energy or heat or anything on that order? You still have an emotional charge stored in your body. Well, it's kind of like a beaver dam. You know, it's going to block the energy as it sits there and the energy is trying to move through. So let me just give you one little example. The lung energy. And our lung has to do with our ability to have personal power, feeling in control, feeling like we have the resources we need to move forward in a situation. The lung meridian starts here, kind of underneath the collarbone, and it's on both sides, and it goes up the shoulder, zigzags around the arm a little bit, and it comes out the side of the thumbnail. I mean, the end of the finger, but end of the thumb, but on the side of the thumbnail. Well, if you are feeling as though you don't have any personal power, you might very well have a blockage stored somewhere in that meridian.
Okay.
So one of the things that we can do is to tap right on the end of that meridian. And we can tap here, or we can tap here, because both of them are the end of the meridian.
Okay.
So we do that kind of tapping while we hold in our intention the upset.
Okay.
So it's kind of like working with a computer. If you want to edit a file that you have, say you're doing a term paper and you've got a rough draft going, in order to edit that paper, you have to open the file.
Right.
So we have to open the file in order to access the emotion that's still stored there. When something happened 20 years ago, you might have been freaked out. You know, you might have been on a scale of 0 to 10, you might have been a 10.
Right.
But today, as you go back and think about it, now that 20 years have gone by, maybe it's not a 10 anymore. But maybe what you can feel come up, and maybe it's in your chest, maybe it's in your hands or your jaw. You can feel a 6, maybe a 7. It's not all the way to a 10 like it was. Time has brought it down, but it's still there.
Yeah.
We want to release that piece that's still there. We want to bring it all the way down to a 0. Because you see, if we have fears and upsets in our system, the amygdala and the midbrain is going to look for those things so we stay away from them so that we survive. And problem is, when we look for those things, we find them. And that's a problem. So we are going to walk through this because we did a session together.
Right.
So let's go ahead and show that.
Okay.
We are going to do some demonstrating today of tapping, but in the process, I would like you to be able to tell people about a situation that has been difficult for you, and then we're going to walk through the process so that they can all understand what we're doing with you as our subject. Okay?
Okay.
So I know we talked a little bit previously that there is one issue that has kind of come up over and over for you, and that's an issue of you feeling invisible at times, right? Okay. So tell me about a current or a very recent time that was pretty strong where you kind of felt invisible.
Okay. I am a member of a board, and I don't have a real significant role in the board.
Okay.
I'm a secretary, so I don't do a lot of input, and I don't do a lot of background work with the board. I just go to the meetings and take the minutes. I shouldn't say just, it's pretty significant. Recently, the board passed out biographies of every member of the board and then all of the staff that are also involved in this nonprofit organization, and little biographies about them to just a paragraph. And I wasn't included.
Not on the list at all?
Not on the list at all. And I've been part of their organization for 3 years.
Wow.
So for me to be left off, I thought, is it just that the role is not important or insignificant, or is it me? And I was just, oh my gosh, here we are again.
Okay.
Because I've been at restaurants where there's a dozen people in there, and everybody gets their order taken, and the waitress will forget me.
Oh.
She'll come back, everyone will say she didn't get to take an order on her drink, so everyone will get their drinks except me.
Oh, for crying out
Right.
loud.
I won't get to have my order taken, I won't get my drink, and I'll have my hand raised like a little child in a schoolroom, waiting for someone to see me, so they'll come back and ask me what it is I need. And it seems like everyone else in the restaurant but the waitress can see me.
Interesting.
So I feel invisible, and it's not like it happens so frequently
Sure.
that it's almost embarrassing to me.
Okay. Sure.
So
of
I
course
want to
it would
be seen, and I think
Okay.
I've got a personality that I'm like, hey, right? How
Yeah.
can you not see me?
Sure.
So I want to see if there's something that's in my DNA or
Okay.
whatever
Yes,
that I've got
absolutely.
in there. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to work today then on the tapping piece. So we're going to demonstrate that EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique tapping. So the very first starting of that piece is to have you go back and literally step back into the situation that is causing you that upset or that you have that remembrance for right now.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm assuming it's the board issue.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So step yourself back into that to simply open up the file, kind of like on the computer. We need to, in order to edit the file, we have to open it up so we can work with it, and then we can close it up and save it. All right.
Okay.
So you've stepped back into that. I would like you to take a little inventory of your body right now. And when you see yourself back in that upsetting situation, where do you feel that in your system, in your body, physically? Where do you get uncomfortable?
Oh, in the pit of my stomach.
Okay, so it's the pit of your stomach,
And it's
that's
almost sickening.
Okay.
You know?
and that's the place we're going to use as the barometer for this board situation.
Okay.
Now, when you feel that in your stomach, almost a sickening feeling, what is the emotional piece that goes with it? And by that I mean, is it frustrating, embarrassing, irritating? Does it make you angry?
It's like I'm inadequate.
Inadequate. You feel
Not
inadequate.
good enough.
Not good enough. Got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense. Sure. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being as strong as that feeling of inadequacy or not good enough could be, 0 meaning it's not there at all, how strong can you make that feel right now?
I can ramp it up all the way to a 10.
All the way to a 10.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
change that state, definitely.
Very good. So that's the piece that we are going to now diminish.
Okay.
So we're going to bring that feeling of inadequacy or not good enough down, 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 down. And we want it to go to a 0. Okay? So here's the process we're going to use for tapping. First of all, we're going to tap on the back of the karate chop point. So if I were going to karate chop my table, that's the point we're going to tap on.
Okay.
Now we're going to say 3 phrases that include the negative aspect of this feeling invisible. And this point helps us to bring the conscious and the subconscious minds together
Okay.
so that we can start working with them.
Okay.
So please just repeat after me. Even though I felt very inadequate
Even though I felt very inadequate
and I felt invisible,
and I felt invisible,
none of my information was there.
none of my information was there.
I can't believe I felt so less than.
I can't believe I felt so less than.
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
loved, forgive, and accept. I completely love, forgive, and accept myself completely.
Yes. And it doesn't matter which order you say it in because you got them all. So we're going to repeat this kind of a statement 3 times.
Okay.
Even though I felt completely inadequate when my name wasn't on the list.
Even though I felt completely inadequate when my name wasn't on the list.
And invisible.
And invisible.
And it makes me feel not good enough.
And it makes me feel not good enough.
And I hate that feeling.
I hate that feeling.
I love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
I love, forgive, and accept myself anyway.
It feels so good to let that go.
It feels so good to let that go.
Even though my name wasn't on the list and I couldn't believe it.
Even though my name wasn't on the list and I couldn't believe it.
I thought, here we go again.
I thought, here we go again.
I'm invisible to them.
I'm invisible to them.
I hate that feeling.
I hate that feeling.
I love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
I love, forgive, and accept myself anyway.
It feels so good to be free of that.
It feels so good to be free of that.
Good. So this is the point that we tap while we get ourselves ready.
Okay.
Then we're going to tap on different parts of the body while we say the negative part of that. And tapping on it while we say those pieces, we're actually tapping on the energy meridians and allowing it to leave wherever it's being stored.
Okay.
This whole piece of being feeling invisible.
Okay.
So the first spot is between the eyebrows, or at the end of one eyebrow. Okay, so we can tap there, and we tap gently but firmly 5 to 7 times.
Okay.
So we're just going to easily tap while we talk. All right, here we
Okay.
go. Even though, we can do just a reminder phrase.
Okay.
So we're going to say, I feel inadequate.
I feel inadequate.
Good. That's all we need there. Then the side of the eye. I feel invisible and inadequate.
I feel invisible and inadequate.
Good. Now under the eye. I feel invisible and inadequate.
I feel invisible and inadequate.
Good. Now under the nose. I feel invisible and not good enough.
I feel invisible and not good enough.
Good. Now under the lips. I feel invisible and awful.
I feel invisible and awful.
Good. Now we're going to go to the collarbone area. It's just below the collarbone, kind of on either side of the sternum, but we tap there. I feel invisible and inadequate.
I feel invisible and inadequate.
Okay. Then we're going to go to our side. So we're just right on the side, a couple inches down from our armpit.
Okay.
And we just tap there gently. I feel inadequate and unnoticed.
I feel inadequate and unnoticed.
Good. And then we're going to go actually to the hand points, which is not something that everybody who does EFT tapping engages in, because the last points we just did are really kind of the shortcut tapping. But I like to include the hand because these energy meridians are very powerful. So we're going to the thumb point, and we're right next to the thumbnail, and we repeat it again. In fact, you can say it with me.
Okay.
I feel inadequate and what?
Invisible.
Invisible. Very good. All right. Then we're going to go to the next, our pointer fingernail. I feel inadequate and invisible. Say it with, go ahead.
I feel inadequate and invisible.
Good. Then the middle finger. Say it with me.
I
feel inadequate and invisible. And then we can skip the ring finger because we already caught it up here.
Okay.
We're going to go to the little finger.
Okay.
I feel inadequate and invisible.
I feel inadequate and invisible.
And then the last place we can tap is on top of our head.
Okay.
Just tap in a circle a little bit. I feel inadequate and invisible.
I feel inadequate and invisible.
Good. All right. So now just take a nice deep breath. Good. And now I want you to go back into that scene that you measured the first time, which was, we're at this meeting, they came out with this list, and I'm the secretary and I'm not on the list anywhere. You had a 10 feeling inadequate or less than in your stomach. Has that come down at all?
Yeah, it's come down.
Give me a new
Yeah,
number then.
5.
About a 5.
Yeah, about a
Okay,
5.
good. Let's make it come down even further.
Okay.
And we're going to say this remaining inadequate.
This remaining inadequate.
Good. And we're going to tap all through those points again. Just say it with me.
Okay.
All right? So here we
Okay.
go. This
That
remaining
remaining
inadequate.
inadequate.
Good. Side of the eye.
This
remaining
remaining
inadequate.
inadequate.
Under the eye.
Remaining
inadequate. Under nose. Remaining inadequate. Under the lips. Remaining inadequate. Collarbone. Remaining inadequate. Side. Remaining inadequate. Side of the thumb. Remaining inadequate. First finger. Remaining inadequate. Middle finger. Remaining inadequate. Little finger. Remaining inadequate. Top of the head. Remaining inadequate. Good. All right. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Again, see yourself in that situation. My name's not even on the list. Oh my gosh, I'm invisible. You had a 5. Has it come?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I want to follow up with one more question. What are the thoughts in your mind right now?
Well, they're so silly. Don't they know who I am?
They're so silly, don't they know who I am? Absolutely.
Well, I'm very excited to tell you that it was a weird experience to go through that process.
Sure.
You know, it was revealing, and I got to tell some things about myself that I really didn't want to say, and I was concerned that it wouldn't work. I was kind of apprehensive and skeptical. But I will tell you, I went home and I didn't have any physical feeling. I was expecting some kind of euphoria or something. But what happened was I went home like I usually do, and I opened my email, and I had received a letter saying that I had an article that was going to be published in a major magazine, and I had sent that article in 6 months ago. So I had never thought it would come to be.
Cool.
And another thing that happened, Joni, was that I was called by the chamber and told that I was going to be featured in their newsletter and on their website. So now I was being seen. I was thrilled. And then that Friday after our session, I got in front of 65 women with a camera and didn't have one shy bone in my body and just felt like everyone sees me. So my attitude about it changed, and I feel like I really released that negativity that I was carrying, even if it was in my thoughts, but wherever it was in my body, I didn't have a pain or anything that was sticking there.
Sure.
But I really felt relief.
Marvelous.
That now I don't have that hanging over. So
Super.
Thank you, Joni.
Oh, I'm so glad that you had such good success with that. And you know what? That's not unusual.
Yeah.
When we use that tapping, things just dissolve as long as we open up the file.
Right. Okay.
Because this is a piece that all of you can experience right now coming up. All right? So all of you just stay tuned and watch this piece. First of all, you need to come up with some sort of a situation, a pattern, a belief, something that's going on in your life right now that causes you an upsetting feeling. Once you identify that piece, then we need you to step back into the situation and remember how it felt when that was going on and you were in the middle of it. So it's not sort of you looking in at a situation, it's you kind of stepping back into the situation and allowing that feeling to happen in your system again. So for instance, I'll pick a topic that's pretty common for a lot of people, and not feeling good enough, kind of like we worked on with Anita, although she was feeling invisible there. We can work on that sense of not feeling good enough. And I'm sure as I think around about things, I can come up with a topic where I didn't feel good enough about what I was doing. Got it. So I want you to step back and think about a situation where you were not feeling good enough. But let me tell you one more thing. If you don't want to go with that topic and you have another one that's burning a hole in your thoughts, go with that topic. So we will go with my topic of not feeling good enough. But you can have your own intention being whatever topic you came up with, and you will borrow the benefits of the topic that I am tapping on with you right now. You're going to join me. And you will also bring your emotional charge down. And that's what we're looking for. Okay? So either choose to go along with my topic and come up with a situation where you didn't feel good enough about something, or come up with your own situation. But get in touch with that right now. So take a moment, step back into that situation, and notice, where do you feel that sensation in your body? I am feeling it right here in my chest. And actually for me, that's where a lot of my feelings are when I take note of them. So by stepping back in, we're now opening the file, and I'm feeling it right here in my chest. And then I want you to take note of, what do you think that feeling is? Be pretty clear, unless there's maybe two that you're struggling with, frustration, irritation, or anger, sadness. Sometimes they can get mixed up a little bit. So if you can come up with one emotion, that's the best, because then it's very clear what we're working on. So my emotion right here is embarrassment. It's embarrassment. You've taken note of yours, and now I want you to rate, how strong is that feeling on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 means not at all, don't feel it. 10 means as strong as it could be, and 5 is in the middle. So now say to yourself, how strong is that emotion that I'm feeling here? And I'm getting about a 6. So I have embarrassment here at about a 6 because I'm not good enough. Okay? Good. We're going to come back and use those measurements again so that we can see if we've improved and let go of some of this emotion. So we all start on the karate chop point. If I were going to karate chop something, that's the point we're going to tap on. We're tapping 5 to 7 times, and this is 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Well, I've just tapped a whole bunch more. So just tap along with me and repeat my words. Don't worry about what your goal is or your situation. Just repeat my words right now. Even though I'm really embarrassed that I'm not good enough at that. I love and accept and forgive myself just as I am right now. Even though I'm really embarrassed that I'm not very good at that situation. I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself just as I am right now. Even though I'm really not very good at that and I'm embarrassed by it. I love, accept, and forgive myself just as I am right now. Good. We're finished at the karate chop point. We've now set the system up to be ready to let go of that emotion. And the first place we start is on the side of the eyebrow. And we repeat that phrase again. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Side of the eye. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Under the eye. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Under the nose. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Under the lips. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Collarbone. Right about on either side of the sternum. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Then we're going to the side, underneath your armpit, a couple inches. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. We're now going to the thumb, and we're tapping on the side of the thumb that's closest to our palm. Not the fingers, but the palm, okay? I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Next place is the pointer finger, and we're tapping on the side of the nail that's closest to the thumb. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Middle finger, again on the side of the nail, closest to the pointer finger. Here we go. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Now, you would think we might want to tap on our ring finger too, but actually we already tapped on the meridian that ends here when we tapped up here. So we don't need to do that one. We can go to the little finger next. Okay, here we go. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Good. Last place, top of the head. And we tap in a circle, round and round. I don't feel good enough and it's embarrassing. Good. Take a nice deep breath. Some people will call that a cleansing breath, and it just helps our system kind of get back in order, back in balance. And now I want you to go back to that situation that you measured just before we started tapping. Get back in touch with where you felt that emotion of not feeling good enough or the situation that you decided to choose. But get back in touch with it. Step back into the situation and feel how that feels to you. My embarrassment was here in my chest. And I'm down to a 2. As I feel the embarrassment, my 6 has come all the way down to a 2. So at this point, I would go back through like I did with Anita in the previous piece, and I would tap all of those things saying remaining embarrassment. So here we go. Join me. Start here at the eyebrow, remaining embarrassment. In fact, say it right with me because we're going to just use these same words all the way through. Remaining embarrassment. Side of the eye, remaining embarrassment. Under the eye, remaining embarrassment. Under the nose, remaining embarrassment. Under the lips, remaining embarrassment. Collarbone, remaining embarrassment. Side, remaining embarrassment. Thumb, remaining embarrassment. First finger, remaining embarrassment. Middle finger, remaining embarrassment. Little finger, remaining embarrassment. Top of the head, remaining embarrassment. Very good. Take a deep breath. And we're going back in to measure that embarrassment or whatever emotion you had that you use as a barometer the first time. So here we go. Step back into that situation. Put your hand or feel what you feel, where it was, and get a sense of how strong that feeling is. Stay with the same emotion. Mine's gone. I'm now at a 0. So in terms of that situation, I have released the embarrassment. And we've taken care of it. Thanks for joining me.
Now, Joni, do you want to just wrap this up with the conclusion?
I suppose we better.
Yeah.
I better.
Okay.
I suppose we better. Well, the one thing that I'd like to have people know is that anybody can do this. And it's really not hard. Now, we have this show on cable TV, but we also have it on YouTube.
Right.
So if you liked what you saw, if you got some relief, go take a look at it on YouTube and tap along with it again, because you can. And you can use this tapping for everything. And to tell you the truth, if your number of uncomfortableness went from, say, a 10 to a 2, well, it's a whole lot easier to manage a 2 response than it is a 10. Right. So maybe it didn't go all the way down to a 0. And sometimes we need a professional to help us do that. Right. But if you got down from a 10 to a 2, imagine. It's not going to bug you near as much as it did before.
That's for
so use it, take it for what it's worth for you, and allow yourself to be happier and healthier. We love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni.